Welcome, coaches, to the Coaching Magic Podcast, where we reveal, discover, and create the insights, tools, and aha moments that make your coaching seem, well, magical. I'm your host, Jill Young, and I invite you to listen up, giddy up, and buckle up as we play with this creative profession of coaching that helps humans become their best, including you. Today, my co-creator here on the podcast is Sue Hawks. Sue Hawks is an expert EOS implementer. She's been a coach for dozens of years, has other really impactful products and services that she offers to leaders who want to maximize their success. That's one of her catchphrases, and who are striving for intentional greatness. Sue's products have helped me personally grow past some imposter syndrome. And today, Sue, in this episode, she really walks her talk. We dance, we sing, which is probably the most important thing that's happening on the podcast is the dancing and the singing. But she encourages us to be genuine and authentic to help our lives as coaches be a little more effortless. We talk about energy, connectivity, and of course, her company is named Yes with 2 S's, and her website is Say Yes. So we talk about that power of saying yes. Coaches, buckle up. Grab your coaching magic notebook and enjoy. This is how we roll on the Coaching Magic
You know
podcast.
what? It's
We just hit
magic.
record.
So magic
Sue.
is not timely.
No, magic just goes. We just jump right in. Sue, your background and your jacket and your shirt and your microphone. It's so colorful. And then look what I chose to wear today. My colorful.
Sunrise, sunset.
Sunrise, sunset.
You
We
can
also-
sing that though. I cannot. That we're better if I don't.
We can sing. And you know what? This is the best thing because I do prepare for these podcasts. And I thought to myself, let's end the podcast with Sue's love of dancing. But nay,
I already have.
Let's start the
Even
podcast
better.
with Sue's love of dancing. Okay. Here's the story I'm going to tell.
Okay.
My friends listening to this podcast, this was my first experience of Sue Hawks. Okay. We were out to dinner. We were out somewhere. I knew who you were, clearly, but we were out as a group at dinner, maybe at a band or something early, 10 years ago. And Sue, I have this experience of Sue that she is this polished professional, and she is, that is like, so like, just like the smartest and the best and never makes a mistake. This was my story I was telling myself about Sue Hawks.
That bubbles popped.
And she gets up. The band was playing and she starts dancing. And I'm like, whoa. And she's dancing. And she just, Sue, in that moment, you just opened things up for me that, oh, is it possible that you can be a polished professional and just let it loose and dance? So thank you for that, because I have incorporated that into my own magic, so to say.
Well, you are magic. And when I think of you, I think of the first time I saw you at a QCE in the group. And you stood up with a bunch of old fuddy-duddies, mainly men, if we're candid. But you got up and you were like liquid sunshine, joy, happiness. You were the most effusive, joyful, authentic version of, hey, I'm here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I am going to take this place by storm, by sheer positivity. And I remember thinking that woman doesn't have to be right about anything. She just needs to open her mouth, because you bring energy, joy, and positivity every time to every person. And that has been true since that day forward.
Sue, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me in the way that I love to be seen. And thank you for reinforcing that me just pushing record on the podcast without you and I create a whole bunch of rules, objectives, or agenda is part of my magic.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Darn it all, at a wild game or otherwise.
Yeah, yes. So, yes, oh my gosh. Now all of these memories of
Yeah,
all the fun things we've had are flooding back. Okay. Whew. So the dancing, Sue, where
yeah.
does this come from? How do you, who is this of you? Where do you pull this through your coaching? Because it's like now I know you love music and dancing. So,
I
so let us in on this Sue magic.
Well, I love that it's Sue magic when I'm with you. I'm not sure everybody thinks of it that way. I
We're
think we
declaring it today.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
done, done. I think the way I pull it through is, for me, music unleashes energy and connectivity, and it translates language, right? So you can play music without words. Like I wouldn't need when I've been in South Africa or Ghana or Mexico where I've led trainings and things, any music doesn't matter if it's music that's native to that area or mine. All of a sudden you can be dancing with people and you're connecting and you're laughing and you're doing something, and it's not about what you're saying, but it's like an energy that unites you. And it, again, it's transcendent. And so for me, dancing has always been I never had to think to do it. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
just fun. And so put on a little music, put on a little dance, and anybody can join in. And you really don't need anyone else there either.
Mm,
So it's movement,
mm,
it gets the blood flowing, it changes the state you're in. Like, we were just in a meeting prior to this podcast with some of my team and another group we're hiring, and I put on, I kid you not, a Cher holiday song that is not traditional, and we all literally, it was on when we started the meeting, and we were all dancing before we started talking, and it changed the mood walking in from a business meeting to, "Hey, we're people connecting to do something," from a much more genuine and authentic place. And so to me, that's a leverageable piece where, I have it incorporated. We can add it right into the podcast. I did that during the pandemic because it's how I stayed alive. We did lip syncs with our team and we put them out on YouTube. We were ridiculous because we were so starved to connect. And for me, that was one more way to get through a screen.
hmm. In the simple act of moving our bodies, which we do
Hmm.
every day, most humans are moving some part of their body. Uh, you've revealed to us this connection, the language sharing. Like there's no language barrier when we're moving
And
to
you don't
any
need
kind of
Chat
music.
GPT or a
Nope.
screen.
Yeah, or a screen. So, I'd love to unpack this just a little bit because I am when you played music during one of my first QCEs. For anyone listening, that you're like, what is this weird acronym? It's the Quarterly Collaborative Exchange. Sue and I both happen to be EOS implementers, and this is what we do quarterly to train. There was a QCE that you were running, and you played music to just get everyone to dance. Now, I am an acceptor of invitations. I love to say yes, which I would like to talk about in a little bit. There you go, a little foreshadowing. Say yes. I love to say yes. So it was easy for me to follow you. You're like, there's dancing. I'm your early adopter. I'm up and doing this. And then what I experience too when I'm inviting people to dance, there will be people who do that. And then there are people who they will say, I don't dance. I don't dance. They have language where they really do not accept the invitation.
Mhm.
Are there any, um, and I was going to say any gentle ways, but there can be any ways that you have found that encourage people to accept the invitation or at least feel something as other people are dancing. I don't know. Riff on that.
Well, I don't think everybody has to, first off. So there are other ways to get people involved. You can move in any which way. When we started this, you were saying, how does it work and how have you incorporated it?
Mhm.
And I think, again, for a mood setter, it anchors experiences. If you ever think of significant, experiences, one of the games we play on our pontoon boat, we take people out there. It's just a thing you do if you're in a lakes region. We have a happy hour while we're on a pontoon boat. And one of the things I ask everyone to do when they come to our boat, and this is friends, family, clients, whomever might be on, I'll say, there is a price. I wait, of course, till we leave for shore.
Oh.
Leave the shore, now they're captive, right? So there's only swimming back. But I do say, and this is a way to get people to interact with music, I'll say, "You need to leave me with a song." And the
Mhm.
only requirement is that you come up with a song that you have a strong memory from. It
Mm.
can be romantic, it can be funny, it can be joyful, it can be sad, it can be deep and profound. But I want you to think of a song and then tell us a story about you so we
Mm.
know you a little bit better. I add those songs to this eclectic playlist I have. And so when we play it, when we're on the boat later, we take you with us. And that's one of our, I go, I just want a little piece of every person. And I have yet for a person not to deposit a song. Now, they might not be dancing,
Mm.
but
Mm.
they do share an anchoring moment because I really do believe music, no matter what
Mm.
kind, anchors significant memories for every single one of us. Like if I have you do that, it might be great for your listeners and for me to learn even more about you to say, if you can think of one, Jill, that has some significance of any sort, funny, sad, anything in the
Mhm.
world from your history, what song would you play
Mhm.
and why that song? And just give us an idea.
Okay. So, coaches, Sue is doing something magical right now. Sue, sometimes we take a time out and point out really cool shit that coaches are doing. I asked Sue a question, and instead of giving me an answer in concept, she gave us a story. Stories are beautiful. She's taking, so there you go. She could tell me the theory, which we kind of talked about that. Then she gave us a story of the pontoon boat and welcoming people in. And now she is inviting us into an experience. We're going even deeper. Where Sue and I now, I'm going to predict, I'm going to go right back up to content and I'm going to share my song. But I'm predicting that Sue and I will never forget this moment
I
because
agree.
I'm going to share, and she's brought us to experience together right now. Oh, Sue, concept. Take it deeper with a story. Take it even deeper with let's enjoy this experience together. So we'll untime out now. Now we go right back to the podcast. Here's my song. Listen to the music. It's Doobie Brothers. So I find this really funny that the song is listen to the music as we're talking about
Yeah.
music. But here's my memory of that. I was 35, a busy mom running a CPA firm, busy. And a group of friends had a band, and their lead singer moved. And they know that I can sing. We happened to go to church together, and they said, "Come be the lead singer of our band." And Sue, I wanted to do that with all my heart.
That
My
is so
my
cool.
soul exploded with that. And then reality started coming in. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I have 3 little kids at home. I can't do that. I've got this job where I'm working till midnight already. This is before I knew EOS, by the way. And my heart was crushed that I could not do that.
Mm,
And, I said this to my then husband, now I call him my husband because I think that's
yeah,
adorable.
I do
I
too.
said I said this to my then husband. I said, "James, they want me to be the lead singer and I wanna do it so bad, and there's just no way I could ever do this." And he said, "Do it." I still get teary. He said, "Do it. We'll figure it out." Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and you are emotional,
Yes.
and was this the
You
first song?
And this was the first song I performed. First song we performed. Oh, I can feel it.
Uh-huh. We are grooving now, and we are dancing too, and it
Yes,
didn't
we
even take.
are. Day by day, people getting ready for the cruise. Some
Sunny,
are happy,
summer
some are
sunny.
sad.
Oh,
Let the music play. Oh my goodness, Sue, what an experience
And so
you've
fun,
given.
right?
And so fun, and it brought me right back. And this is I'm just gonna take this a little deeper because it always goes deeper when you have an experience. I'm divorced. We I'm divorced. People who are divorced, sometimes my experience is like, oh, ugh. And for me to go back into, I love that moment when he supported my highest purpose and said, do it. We'll figure it out. Those are the memories that I love. That's how I create him every day
Right.
in mind as my husband, we built these beautiful children together. And for me to have that experience to go back in and honor him at one of my deepest um, connections with music. Oh,
Mhm.
so
And now
I
now we won't ever forget that, and that is
will
so
never forget
cool.
that.
And it's all packed
Thank
in
you.
there. And,
Yeah.
again, there isn't anyone I've ever asked that question to, Jill, that
Mm,
hasn't gone, "Well, let me tell you about
mm,
this song." And you get deep things and funny things and ridiculous, and someone's
yeah.
song triggers
Oh,
somebody else's song. And we've played this for hours and hours and hours going like, then we'll get thematic, somebody on the boat, if it catches on, and sometimes it doesn't,
yeah.
somebody will be like, "In high school, what was the song you played right before homecoming?" And you could tell people's age based on era or artist and just goofy. But
Hmm.
it's a connection, right? And that's how we like create safe spaces for people to just share a little bit of who they really are as opposed to,
Mm.
"Oh, here's a superficial," and they can. I have a CPA once who was in one of our coaching courses when I was teaching and certifying coaches, and he's a CPA. So, you ran this firm. They are not always the most effusive people on the planet. Not always the most demonstrative, not all of them. And he would be the more conservative version of a CPA. He was the founder, the owner, a little more reserved. And we were in a course and we would do anything from yoga or Zumba or, you know, dancing, whatever it was to move about every hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I said, "John, you're not dancing, you're not moving, you're not jumping in." And he said, "I don't do this stuff."
Huh.
So another story
Mm.
on this, and I said, "John, what would it take? Because I know in your life you've probably danced." And he said, "It takes a lot of alcohol." And I said, "I know, and we don't have any of that. And I'm just wondering." And he said, "Well, I'll bet you." And this was back before there was online music you could grab. I only had a hard drive iPod. But as you said, I'm an audiophile, so I have a
Yeah.
lot of diverse music in there, and I'm in Mexico, so I can't go download it. And he said, "If you have a song I can name, I will get on stage and dance to it." And I said, "John, I will bet you $100 I've got it," knowing not what he would say and expecting some song I probably have never heard. And he named the song and I had it. And he did Clarence Carter's "Strokin'," which was hysterical. And he got up on stage, and in that same way you described me, he was a transformed human. And he
Yeah.
moved the whole room because they too had a certain persona made up about him
Hmm.
that he hadn't expressed. And I
Hmm.
think we all have that person that,
Hmm.
given the right circumstances or the right invitation, we become, because it's so much more fun than the
Hmm.
buffed up, polished up version we
Mhm,
might save for
mhm.
professional situations or our closest friends or our family or whatnot, where it's just
Yeah.
like us unbridled.
So as you're painting this picture of this experience, what I'm seeing on two layers, both I'm feeling what happened in that room that day because I've been in experiences where we're like, oh, well, that person would never do this, and it's not like a thing that we say out loud, not even a thing that crosses your consciousness. It's kind of a like a back here, you know,
Yep.
something. Um, so I'm feeling the energy of people going, "Wow, like this happened." But on this other layer, what I'm sensing is that when coaches create the possibility for these things to occur, I'm going to use the word possibility twice. Possibilities occur, and they open. I know it sounds weird, but it now I get to see this thing that I never thought was possible. So when I see those that as possible, I think what is possible in my own life? What else am I thinking is impossible that could never happen? And that's part of coaching magic is helping see people see possibilities. And it feels to me, my experience of you is you do it um, my experience of you is it's effortless. There could be some effort in it, and that more often I see you do it without words. It's just who you are.
Well, that's very kind. Thank you. I don't know if it's effortless, but I believe in the same way you just described it very wisely. When we're authentic, it comes to us, right? Like it's not effortful. It's when you're just paying attention and you're fully present and you are totally in a space with someone, really truly like the word intimacy, into
Mm,
me see,
mhm,
like we are here. I know what to do. I may not always have the words. It might just be, oh, I'm going to play that song because I want to hear her voice. Because once she touches that memory, she becomes this person who at one point shut down being the lead singer of that band.
mm,
And her husband tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Go for it,"
mhm,
at the time, wasband.
mhm,
Um, but
mm.
it opened a door, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, yeah, that's me too."
Yeah,
And that version of me wasn't afraid. That version of me just needed a little permission in the moment.
yeah. Hmm. There's so many things to witness in what you just did here. But I want to tie two things together for everyone, all the coaches listening. Here's what I heard Sue say. But this is where I'm like, "Oh, everything I've experienced from Sue, I felt that these words were true." She tied my experience of her effortlessness to her just being authentic and present. So if I'm calling something out here. If you are feeling coaches like you would like a way to be a coach, but less stress, less push, less effort, wondering if you welcome in a little more of who you truly are. There were days where I didn't want anyone to know that I used to be a preschool teacher. Why in the world would you pay me money? I was a preschool teacher. No, all I wanted you to see is that I have an MBA. But that preschool teacher is this is the best of me. The MBA gave me some vocabulary words that I now know, and that was fun too. But the preschool teacher, but there was a time where, like, oh, if they ever found out that I was a preschool
Mm.
teacher, but that authenticity makes it easier, more effortless for me to be um, in my coaching magic. But thank you for you just went boom, you're just like click. Now, I also wanna ask you, does that feel right to you?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a beautiful summary, and one of the things you do well is you listen in that very intent way because 'cause we're in this, co-creation, and you're
Mm,
going, "Here's how I make it more concrete for people who might not be in the dialogue." And so would I have put those words together? I would not, but you
mm,
beautifully did, and I go, "That fits. It absolutely fits."
it's a
Some
bit.
of the magic you bring, the
Oh,
summary, the drawing out the points.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I wonder, well, here's the thing. I don't think I can't not do it. I know that's a double negative, but I really enjoy my double negatives. I'm also a master of the triple negative, but it's just, it comes out when it comes out. But I can't not do it. It just, I see it, I feel it. And
Mhm.
that's maybe part of my
It
authenticity.
is.
Ooh.
Kind of
Ooh.
amazing.
Okay. Okay. Now, next topic. Ready? And now a short detour for a spark of curiosity. Today's episode is brought to you by the 10th element of coaching magic. We dance. Now, Sue and I have been talking a lot about dancing, so I thought this was a perfect episode to be sponsored by We Dance. What does We Dance mean? This means that within any coaching structure that you have decided to use with your clients, when you are in that structure with your clients, it is a dance. We never know what we're going to get, but we move with the rhythms. We move to the music. What is that music? Sometimes it's emotions, sometimes it's an agenda, but we always want to move with our clients, staying close enough that we can dance together. We're in tune with each other, far enough away that we're not stepping on toes. Sometimes we lead from the front. Sometimes we support from the back. Sometimes we are doing a country line dance side by side. But to have this energy in your mind of once you enter into the structure, it is now a dance. In Coaching Magic, we have 4 dance steps that I'd love to teach you. If you are interested in Coaching Magic, please visit coachingmagic.com to find out all of the shenanigans and useful tools that we have for you over here in our Coaching Magic community. And now, back to Sue.
Okay.
I think I've wanted to ask you this for 10 years. And I think maybe I have asked, and maybe I forgot the answer. But I also feel like part of my superpower is I forget, so I have the delight of remembering. I'm hearing it again.
And everything can be new.
Sue, yes, and everything can be new. Sue, your company is called Say Yes, and it has 2 S's.
Mhm.
And in the world of people who are saying, say no to that thing, you need to say no. So you just, can you unpack that for us or unfold it or like paint it out for us? Because I love to say yes.
Well,
Where did it
Say
come
Yes
from?
is thank you for asking. Say Yes is the website. The company is just Yes,
For reals?
for reals.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, I have a funny story about it. I don't know that it's answering your question, so I
Please,
won't share
but
that.
we love stories. If
So
you
when
want
I
a story,
was
you can share a story.
this is, when dinosaurs were roaming the earth and I was being certified as a coach, when I was off doing a 9-month program learning. We had to
We call
take
it
on
in Coaching Magic, we call it when we were a baby coach.
yeah, when I was a baby
Yeah.
coach, when I was a, hatchling, um, I had my business. It was called Yes. It's a simple acronym, way too long, but I love the word yes. It leads to all possibility. I, in fact, have a long form why you say yes post somewhere I can send to you that's really worthwhile, but it's the beginning to every adventure, right? If you didn't say yes to singing on that stage, no more adventure. Like that's just a no. Now, do you need both? You absolutely do to discern. But yes enables all new possibilities. So I love that word. And I am a big proponent of it to my own detriment. As you know, I probably say it too often and overcommit. This has been part of my perennial history. And I would tell you my life is richer, fuller, and more abundant because of it. Do I overdo it? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Um, yes, yes. But that being said, I was in my baby coaching phase and I was up and they asked us to take on a new hobby, a new something. And I was up to my roots of
Mhm,
my hair with overwhelm
mhm,
because it was this time of year. We happened to be talking in December. So I had all kinds of family things. I was a single mom, all the circumstances that you could lay out and say, here's why I'm not adding one more thing. And I didn't want to say no.
mhm,
And here I have my business, right? And so I stand up because we had to present what we were going to do. And I went, I know what my practice is going to be. It's genius, in fact. And I thought I had cheated the system in a brilliant way. I said, I'm going to practice saying no. That was my new thing. And what was funny is I had to present it. And so I developed a whole model. Before I could say yes, I had to do all these things. And it was a model I ended up teaching a lot of clients because we attract ourselves, right? We
yeah,
coach ourselves.
mhm,
And so as I got my clients, they needed the tools, but I didn't realize how hard this work was going to be to learn to say no really effectively. I dare say I'm still practicing. I'm better, but I'm not done. And while I was standing in front of all my teammates, which there were about 30 of us in this program, one of them said, "That's really funny, Sue. Did you realize your business name? What are you going to do about that?" And I lost it. We all laughed. So it never occurred to me. And he's like, "You even named your business." So I was called out. That was my pseudo funny story, but at the time it was hysterical because he went, "This is a real issue for you." And to this day, it's held true. But I do believe it's one of the most, it's the gateway to all good things. It's the gateway
mm,
to possibility. If you don't say yes, you're already there.
mhm. Ooh, say more about that.
Well, meaning if I don't say yes, like if I wouldn't have said yes to be here, I can't get here. I have
Mm,
to say yes, right? Yes enables whatever that next thing is. So if I don't say yes to, like I took up a new hobby, I try and put myself in the position of being a beginner quite frequently because it keeps me pretty humble,
mm,
especially when I think I've
mm,
arrived at any given
mm,
thing. Like I'm getting good at
mm.
that. And then I go, oh, you need a kick in the butt. Um, and so I took up this cricket machine. Have you ever seen these things?
Oh, yeah, you told me about that about a
I
month
am
ago. How
yeah,
fun is
I
that?
I am addicted out of my mind, and so I'm creating all these things, and you then shared all your artwork, and that led us to, "Hey, sometime we need to go on a little retreat and paint together because I haven't been painting, but all I wouldn't even know you did paintings. I wouldn't even but all that came out of one simple yes when I
Mm,
called you up one day randomly and just went, "Hey," and all kinds of things come, but if you say no or you don't put it out there, there's nothing more. It's you're already here, and there's nothing wrong with that.
mm,
But no is the one that says, "Let me contain some of this." It's starting to unravel in maybe too many ways or not ways that I
mm,
hope to control.
mhm. You need both.
Yeah.
But I love this, this possibility that comes when we say yes, and you said something I wrote down. I might even make some art out of it because this is what I do when things are inspiring to me. You said, "Yes is the beginning of to every adventure."
Yeah, it
And
is.
if I look at, when I'm 142 when I die, because that's, it's that or older, if I look back, I probably will not be super celebrating the things I said no to.
Well, you might on a few
Maybe.
levels, right?
Maybe, but the majority of them are gonna be, "I'm so excited that I said yes to that. Yes to dancing with Sue Hawks.
On
Yes."
your podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast. The first time we danced, and then the second and third and fourth and fifth, and now this time we dance, um, it's, I used to be also a career counselor is at one point, and
You've
I
done
would
it
say
all,
I
really.
listen, I'm a dabbler, all right? I'm a dabbler, I like it. I was a career counselor, and I had this theme with the people I was coaching, say yes until there's a no, because they would come to me and they'd go,
Got it.
I have this lead, but I'm not gonna follow it because I heard they don't pay well." I'm like, "What? No, you," and now I know what. "Oh, you say no, you're already there. That thing is done. That possibility is out." And so I taught them, say yes until it's a strong no. And for coaches, I love to use that in my coaching too. It's, hey, well, do we know for sure that this is a done deal? Do we know for sure? Can we just take one more step and, and see where that clear yes or no is instead of that land of like kind of squishy maybe.
Squishy maybe's not always fun either. I think yes and no are way more fun. They're
Way
clear.
more fun. Way more fun. Sue, last year about this time, you and I said yes to a big project.
Yeah, we did.
We wrote a book together, you guys. We
Yeah.
wrote a book together with our other friend, Mark O'Donnell. It comes out in April, and it's all about issue solving. And listen, when I started, I sometimes say I'm an accidental coach. It's always been inside me, but I signed up for this thinking that coaching is telling people what to do. and and when I was a baby coach, I was terrified of helping clients solve issues. So now I think that is really funny that I said yes to writing a book about solving issues. Um, just before we start to wrap up, Sue, is there something exciting for coaches
Hmm.
around that book coming out? Is there something you're excited for them to say yes to? Ooh.
Oh, I
Mm,
like how you threaded that all together.
me too. That was
Um,
brilliant. I just
that
let
really was
words fly.
um, I think saying yes to I truly believe I'm interested in you weighing in on this. I truly believe there's two things the majority of our clients find us in EOS for anyway.
Mm, mm,
But I think beyond EOS, this holds true. I think the number one is help me find out how to solve things better.
mm,
Right? Like there
mhm,
are things plaguing me. If I knew how to do it, I already would have done it. Because we work with really
mm,
smart,
mhm,
motivated, growth oriented, nimble, hungry, humble people, and they're stuck. And it's like, help me solve this. And if they could identify what this is, they already would have done it.
yeah.
And so I think for the coaches, whether EOS implementers or those beyond, it's like this book is going to help people simplify how to do that more
Mm,
effectively, how to ask better questions,
mm,
how to slow down to speed up.
yes.
Um, and I think the second thing that they want us for is the accountability. And I
Mm,
think those two things, like help me get to the root of it in as simple terms as possible so I can get my arms around it, develop some new practices, solve it, but then also be accountable for that solve.
mm,
Because without the accountability, it's probably going to be, a circle back
mm,
to where we've been, which is that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results
mm.
that we all call
We all
insanity.
call, yeah.
So to me, those are the two things in this book that I think every coach you could read this book and I think go, "Oh, I know that." Or you could read it and be like, "I gotta soak that in, and
Mm,
I gotta slow
mm,
down and take this in so
mm,
that I help more people,"
mm,
because our success is in direct proportion to that, right? So how do we help more?
mm.
We gotta keep the knife sharp.
Hmm.
What would
Uh,
your answer to your
well,
question be?
you're gonna feel like I'm gonna say ditto, but I want everyone to know I had my answer before Sue had her answer, so we're not cheating off of each other's homework.
Uh,
It's gonna sound very similar. Mine was for coaches when you read this book, and you said it at the end, you said it during and at the end, but to slow down, absorb this, and make space for yourself to slow down. When you are in issue solving with your clients, can you slow your body and breath and presence down so that they can match yours and give the issues the space that they need? Now, it's been my experience that when I can do that and be present with that, the issue can actually get solved faster according to the clock,
100%.
according to the clock. So I'm not asking you to create an issue that takes 30 minutes to solve. My hope and my wish for when this book comes out is that coaches, absorb yourself, get yourself in that experience, solve some of your own issues by just being present with them. Listening is the other word that I have. Slow down, and coaches, if we could gain the experience of listening, really put yourself in that, what it really feels like to listen. I would be over the moon if all coaches who read the book listened 1% more with their whole
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Whole body.
I I like the with your whole body.
Yeah,
Brings us back to
everything.
dancing and music and all the
Dancing and
things.
music and all the things. Sue, this has been so much fun.
I
We've been all over the globe. We've been in our past 10 years of friendship, and now would you like to play a game?
I would. Always.
Okay,
Always.
I have this one of my favorite decks of cards is called the Sweet Ass Affirmations. It's by Rage Create. So much fun. I'm shuffling the cards right now. I'm going to pull a card,
Okay.
okay? And
Okay.
then I'm going to show it to you. And
All
then
right.
you say what comes up for you, and I'll say
Okay.
what comes up for me, but also you get to choose who goes first. All right?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it comes. I haven't even looked at it. Oh, I store in my body that which I seek. Whoa. I store in my body that which I seek. Game on.
I know what came up in my mind.
Okay, do you wanna go first?
I think it's because I have a one-track mind, Jill.
Okay, okay.
I want you to go first, but I know what came up.
Okay. Sometimes I choose me to go first so I don't forget, but no, I'm gonna see when I know, but now I'm gonna feel it. I store in my body that which I seek. Oh, boy, that's a deep one. Hmm. I have been sleeping a lot lately. This is what's coming up for me. I've been sleeping a lot lately, having really deep rest. And I'm going to do something I've never done on the podcast, which is I'm going to go around and get a piece of art off of my wall.
Okay.
Here I go. Hold the fork down for me, Sue. They
I'm
come-
holding it. I'm holding it well. It's actually an easy fort to uphold.
Thank you. So I have it here. And I store in my body that which I seek. I've been sleeping a lot lately, deep, deep sleep. And I have this painting, and I'll hold this up for you. Uh,
Oh,
I am
beautiful. I
deep
wish you
rest.
guys could see it. I hope they get the video of this.
I You know what I'll do? I'll take a picture of it and put it in the show
Yeah.
notes too. But
This should be for the whole thing. It's beautiful.
thank you. If you say this fast, it sounds like I am depressed. Mhm.
Love.
And it's winter time, and I'm sleeping more, and I'm wondering if what I seek, I am. I just claim it. I am the essence of deep rest. That's what
Beautiful.
to me. And how
Beautiful.
powerful for coaches, rest is so important. For maybe all people, rest is important, but I feel for coaches even more to be able to let all of what's coming to us flow through us, hold a lot of things, release a lot of things, and so many beautiful things happen during rest.
Love. Regeneration right there.
It was me.
I love it. Wow, that was way deeper than where I'm going,
Oh,
I think.
hey, listen, everything is allowed. Everything is
It is.
allowed.
It is.
Wide range of human emotions. That's just where I went.
So I store in my body that which I seek. Immediately put me right back to where we started about dancing.
Mm.
And I went, earlier today or any time, first off, the first thought I had was there is no there.
Yeah.
So it's already in me. It's already with me. It's already part of me. Can I access it? Might be a better question. And for me, when I went to dancing, I went, oh, prior to this, and I was really excited about getting to do this with you. I was sitting at my desk and I was being creative and I was working on actually some presentations and things. And I noticed I had aches in my body from sitting in the chair so long, which I don't do a lot of. I'm on my feet, I'm on the treadmill, whatever. And I sat for a long time. And I thought, I got to get up and go walk on the treadmill for the next meeting. So I came up here to my studio office because I was getting ready for you anyway. And I thought, I got to elevate my energy. I am going to walk and I'm going to put on some good music. So I put on a fun song, entered that meeting, shifted that whole meeting how it started because it was
Mm,
elevated and it was
mhm.
lively and it was fun. And everyone went, I didn't know we were going to do this in the meeting. And I go, I didn't either. But I left that meeting and came to this and I
Mm,
went, now I'm ready
hmm.
because it was already in there. I needed to change some things up. And you don't, like, for me, it wasn't a logical, I'm going to get on the treadmill, I'm going to walk, I'm going to do this. It was more like, I'm compelled to get upstairs and move around. And then I went, okay, I'm going to get on here. Oh, okay, I'm going to play a song. And then it's like, I don't really have to do a lot in this meeting. And I'm dancing along. And then I
Mm,
go, here we are. And here we start talking. And to me, complete state change from an hour and a half ago. I mean, literally from like, oh, I could have been ending my day and been kind of ho hum. Now I'm like, let's go.
let's
Let's go
go.
do some stuff. But if I don't go in to come out, if I don't borrow from the storehouse,
Mm,
right, and regenerate
mm,
the way you talked about deep rest,
mm,
you've got to fill that battery. And sometimes that's movement, sometimes it's lack of movement, it's the
mm,
yeses and the nos, it's all the things
mm.
we talked about. And if you pay attention, your body knows what to do sometimes before your brain does. It's the acting your way to better thinking.
Beautiful. And it's letting the body guide, and that elevated energy was already inside you, stored in your body. You need to that's what you were seeking.
Yeah.
Oh, Sue,
Oh,
isn't it fun? I think 100 well, I know. I have evidence 100% of the time that we've done this, it's it's been something that supports
put,
what the whole podcast was just
puts a
about.
bow right on it.
We always like to end the podcast with a little bit of magic.
I like
How
it.
fun is that? And
It was fun.
thank you for wearing the disco ball earrings.
You're welcome. For you, always.
I love you, Sue Hawks. Thank
I
you.
love you, Jill Young. We are going to conquer the world, and I hope everybody in the world gets better at issues solving or coaching or just loves
All the
humans better.
things. And if you want more of Sue Hawks, what's the best way to get more of Sue Hawks?
You can ping us at sayyes.com with two Y's
Okay.
and two S's.
2 Y's and 2 S's.
Two
S-A-Y.
Y's, I kind of like
Yeah,
it. SAYY.
SAYYESS. That's where the 2
Yeah,
Y's are. How
there you
fun
go.
is
There you go.
that? Sue Hawks, you have been too wise today. And with that, adieu.
Thank you, Jill. You're the best.
Thank you for playing with me today in the land of coaching magic. If you want more magic, I invite you to explore www.jillyoung.com. This is where you can see all the shenanigans I've created for you to expand your world of coaching. See you there. And remember, you are magic.